Hey guys, this is Mr. Sharp. This video is to go over the answers to the propaganda posters assignment, the introduction to propaganda posters, and to talk a little bit about the next assignment, propaganda posters 2. So the reason I want to talk about it is because from looking at the responses, you guys did okay. Some people got it all. Most people got some of it, and a few people seemed very confused. And I thought it was fair to talk about the answers and what I was looking for. So, this was our first poster. It's a very famous American poster recruiting for World War I. The questions were, who is the audience, and do you think it was effective? And a lot of people just wrote that the audience was people. And sometimes someone makes something that is made for everyone in the world. Usually with this kind of stuff, the audience is going to be something like the people in a country. And that's definitely the case here. This is a poster for men in the United States because back in World War I, only men could be in the army. And do you think it was effective? Why or why not? Some people pointed out that with that big U, it made it very personal. This one has lasted through time. It's, if you did not know it wasn't effective, you didn't lose any points for that as long as your answer showed thought. This happened to be a pretty effective poster at the time. The next one was our pig foldable poster. This is actually, I believe it's Dutch. I believe this is from the Netherlands. And one of those countries kind of up on the northern part of Europe. And when it says, where's the fifth pig? And then you fold it, and Hitler is the fifth pig. So the audience for this, you guys did great with this one. Something like people who did not like Hitler, people who did not like the Nazis, people who were hiding, something like that. All of that was accepted. If you wrote Hitler, Hitler was not the audience for this poster. A poster making fun of the person is generally not, aimed for that person. I don't think the person who made this ever thought that Hitler would actually see it. I also got a lot of good answers on this. Some people said, if you hide your message, then people won't see it. Other people said, if you hide your message, that's a good thing. Then, if you don't want someone to see it, they won't. And when people do see it, it feels more special and they remember it because they had to do something. Yeah, like I said, most of you did well with this one. The Washington, D.C. poster. This one, I tried to pick a poster that I thought wasn't great. Because, and to drive home that point, that a lot of times these things will have a lot of true information, but they're also trying to get you to agree with them. So even if they're not lying, even if it's all true, there's still something going on where they're trying to play with your emotions. So this is about... Oh, it's not going to make it easy for me to see the whole thing, is it? We'll just do that. This is about giving people in Washington, D.C. the right to vote. So the audience was people in D.C. Somebody said people in Congress. People in Congress could change the vote of people in D.C., so I think that's fair. And what would you do to improve this poster? If you liked it, great. You can like what you like. I thought it was a little bit wordy. I thought it was a little bit confusing. Some people mentioned using more colors on the poster instead of just having that word one. Oh, is that what Uncle Sam did? Oh, he did you as red. Yeah. But yeah. I picked this one because it wasn't great and it confused a lot of you, which I guess I should have expected. Finally, this one, which seemed to be harder for a lot of people. It's called Nuclear War, and you see something like a medical graph, like people are going along fine, people are living a normal life, and then nuclear war happens, and it's like the death thing on the medical chart, like beep. Yeah. So the audience would have been, Russians, or I guess people in the Soviet Union who speak Russia, and the bigger audience would have been people around the world, because even if you don't know what that says, you can see that it's something where there's people and then something very extreme happens and then there's no more people. This question here was just, how does it make you feel? Of course, any way that you feel is fine. I was just interested to see what you guys think, because this poster makes me feel kind of like, oh yeah, like nuclear war would be a really bad thing. There was some confusion about that. There has never been a nuclear war in world history. The reason we have not had it is because it would probably kill all people. So the poster is kind of saying, let's not do that. Let's not kill all the people. Yeah. After thinking about it, this question, who's the audience, is maybe a little bit too much right at the introduction. Maybe before we know the audience, we just need to know what a poster means. And then if we know what it means, we can figure out the audience. So on today's assignment, there's once again 4 posters, and each time the question is just, what is the meaning of this poster? So we have this one, the chance taker loses, crossings cautiously, and you see the train hitting the people in the car. This one, the car sharing club, when you ride alone, you ride with Hitler, join a car sharing club today. There is just so much propaganda from World War II. I try to mix it up, but when I look for this stuff, inevitably there's going to be some World War II stuff, because so many of these posters were made then. And this one always made me laugh. When you ride alone, you ride with Hitler. And then we have little ghost Hitler here looking angry. Yeah. And then we have a smoking video game with the tiny words, quit smoking. And hopefully this isn't too old. Hopefully you guys have played this kind of game where you have the line and it's breaking the dots. And if you don't quite see what that's about, maybe think about it for a sec, or maybe ask your parents. And then the last one is this one that just says food, and the meaning isn't just food is good. You know, read the words and see if you can figure out what it means for food. And that's going to be our lesson today. Good luck, everybody, and I'll see you at the next group meeting.